saying. It was outside, and the supporters of Kamala were up front, but not within probably 150 yards. There were Trump supporters in their trucks, unchecked, right? Like I'm saying, I've been to other events with. At this time, she's a candidate. She is not. She was vice presidential candidate. She was not vice president yet. I've been to other events.
Are you talking about before she became vice president?
This was a vice president. This was a campaign event before she had not been elected yet. The broader thing of what I was trying to say is I've been to events and I have been shocked at how easily and how much in danger somebody who wanted to harm one of our politicians could. I actually think the Secret Service worked in this situation. I don't know how you put a magnetometer outside.
How does the Secret Service work even before she became VP? Because, that's what their campaign funds are for. Remember all these cities that said Trump owes him all this money? Remember that?
Are you going back to Kamala Harris?
Social Security.
Yeah. Patty, I got a question though about how maybe this.
Wait a minute, Ned. I just need to verify. Well, are you talking about 2019 when she was running for president?
No, because this is during. My mom has on a mask in the picture, so it had to be 2020. No, it's 2020. Yeah, it's during 2020.
Okay, so 2020, 2019. Okay, got it. No, what? Huh?
Their campaign funds pays for this shit.
She was the vice presidential nominee.
Yo, why you wasting your time? Niggas hungover. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Okay. He does. If she went, and then she was going around. Okay, I got it. Thanks.
So Patty, I have a question. I'm trying to understand this, right? So the guy runs in, right? He runs past all these agents, right? He manages to shoot one of them, and they don't pump him full of lead. They tackle him and put him down. I'm just that's just the piece that maybe I don't understand, but I just found that kind of strange.
That was my first question.
Why is he alive, and why didn't they just pump him full? I can get it. Look, the way I rationalize it is maybe somebody tackled him and they just said, okay, we neutralized him or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, the minute you shoot off, you just decimate this guy at 100 bullets right there. I mean, I'm just being honest, right? So, I don't know. Maybe I don't understand enough. Maybe, Ben, I don't know.
They should have had Border Patrol in there. They'd have took him out.
Let me...
You stupid.
That's crazy. Let me get my larger point. Part of the problem is that Americans collectively, and this is not me, I'm very different than most Americans. I believe that the way we treat our politicians as if they're everyday, ordinary people who just happen to be in these jobs. And then when these kinds of things happen, people are surprised at the level of access and how easy it is to reach security protocols or lack thereof. So whenever I see a congressman or a senator in an airport sitting in the regular Delta lounge, it shocks me. I'm surprised these people haven't been. It's amazing these people have not been jacked up. But when I say things like on here and in real life, I think they should make more money. I think they should all have security details. And I think it should be more than just the people. They're just regular people. They're actually not just regular people. If they were regular people, my tax bill wouldn't be what it is, because these motherfuckers is taking a good five figures from me every motherfucking April. So they're not just regular people. A regular people doesn't call you back after you buy the whole 3 drinks. That's a regular person. Okay? You see Lindsey, people will you can find videos of Lindsey Graham maybe it was Mitt Romney. You've seen the videos, any of them. These are the embodiment, through our vote, representation of vote, of millions of people. The senators from Minnesota, California, for example, represent over 40 million people. They're not regular people. And so when we have this slapdash halfway, I don't know what y'all are saying. I went past a church. She was the sitting vice president. They had 3 cars worse. I could have walked in the church, cried over the body, and blew up the whole place. Trent is exactly right from my experience too. Depends on the event you go to. She was sitting vice president. I said, oh, guys, come on, what's she doing at this church? People know me, know what I'm talking about. What's he doing here? They had 3 cars out front. There was no cops around. Okay, that's sitting vice president. So security can be very lax. That's all I'm saying. People want them to be treated. So just like when I go to the Walmart to get my Milky Way bars, I'll be done after this. Or I go to the Target to get my Starbucks, because the Starbucks tastes better in Target than the Starbucks stores. I don't know, it's very strange. When you go there and do that, and I can be popped off, the way we treat our politicians, they can be popped off like everybody else. So they're going to get popped off, they're going to get popped off. That's what I get. Now, y'all don't want to give them raises. Y'all want their pay to freeze and all that. So if they get treated like regular niggas, because you don't get raises, we don't get for that, they can get popped off like them too. We can't have it both ways. Oh my God, our security protocol is crazy. So that 5 minutes later, I was spitting his face if I saw him. Okay.
Real quick, just because you didn't see them doesn't mean there wasn't no plainclothes Secret Service there.
There was no plainclothes Secret
set
Service.
up. That there wasn't snipers set up around the church. And there's also something called a threat assessment level. And people are actively praying for Donald Trump to not wake up every day. Kamala don't have the same threat level.
What does that have to do with anything?
It has to do everything with what you just said about how you saw
I'm not talking about the threat level. Well, first of all, you don't know what I inquired where it was or what buildings they would have been in to know if that's true or not. You just heard a story and you just figured I didn't know what I was talking about. It wasn't a church. It was a church.
That's not true. I just offered an alternative,
I'm telling you, they want.
There's a possibility that they
I'm telling you, they want. Man, it was my building.
Can you hold space for the possibility that they were there and you didn't see them?
Can you hold space for the possibility it was my building that I run and they weren't in it?
Okay.
Because they would have had to coordinate with me?
You didn't say that though.
I don't need to tell you my business.
You was withholding information. You was withholding
information? Why? I have an anecdote. You need to tell me my anecdote is wrong? What's going on?
I'm not trying to tell you you're wrong. I just want you didn't give me all of that context.
I'm just telling you that the woman was very vulnerable. She was inside a church, in a chapel. There's no way snipers outside could have stopped me inside the chapel from blowing up her, the governor, 2 senators, etc., etc. I walked into the church chapel. I was not stopped. But go ahead, tell me I didn't walk in. Go ahead. This is incredible. I'm telling you what happened. That a lot of times these people don't have the security detail that people think they have. But you got it.
Sometimes I
I walked in the back. I said, oh my God, this so-and-so. She walked out the thing. I said, this so-and-so. You could have been in any office building, any building around. Just walking out. Just prime me. But you know what? Maybe I was on Huawei or whatever that shit is, and maybe they did get the information from us. So
I just know with the events that I've attended, they've always had snipers on the roof. They'll have snipers on the roof. Even before they go into the event, they have to fucking inspect the building weeks before that. So like, I know there's a whole lot of planning that goes along with it. One of my homegirls that got out of the military, she works in Secret Service, and there's a lot of. She used to be a strategic planner with us, and there's a lot of planning that they do even before they go to a building. The people that'll be there before he even comes, they have to do background checks on. But I don't know what's going on in some of these areas that y'all been to, but I know that's their whole thing. They have to check those buildings, know all the exits and entries. I know that every event I've been to, I've seen snipers on the roof. I know, like, even when she's leaving or even coming, there's no entry and exits. They usually set up, I've always seen them have set up as soon as you come in the building, metal detectors, and they have the police there to check your bags and stuff. So I don't know.
So it stuns me the level of competence that you all attribute to American institutions. Let me give you another example. I was on a college campus. It was during the 2024 campaign. I saw Tim Walz. We want to make, I'm not going to say schools. We'll make stop. Unannounced stops. They put it on, they get the people, the kid. There was nobody on roofs. They didn't do no sweeps of the campus. It's a college campus. You walk out. What are you doing here? You walk out shaking hands and stuff.
I got videos of me getting VIP. Even before that, I had to send all my identification.
Oh.
And this is in.
Yeah, well,
So there's one thing
that happens everywhere.
No, I'm not saying it happens everywhere. I said, I don't know what's going on in y'all area, but I know even in Georgia, to do the VIP access, I had to send all my information. When I got there, they checked because we got there early, and I still was a fucking line for the VIP access. And I got a video of it, and it shows me going through VIP access. They gave us special credentials so that we can sit in certain areas, and they had to check our freaking IDs when we came in. So and that was before even knowing that I was getting ready to go, that before they did their background check and all that other shit. So I don't know.
Patty, I think it depends on the venue. I think it depends on the venue because the venue has to work. They have to cooperate with you when you do it there, their security-wise. And some venues may say, hey, this is pretty secure. Or, the Secret Service may make the decision saying, okay, we don't need a lot of force here because there's only one exit, there's only one entrance, and the probabilities they may be making those decisions. I'm just kind of spitballing here, but that could be why Dan's experience may be different than what yours is.
That's not why. So I sent Patty and First Lady the video. There is context. This was October of 2020, so it's the pandemic. So the event was outdoors as opposed to being inside of University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, UTRGV. That's where it was held. So it was held outside, not inside. But in the video, you can see, and Patty and First Lady can see it themselves, there's trucks. Those trucks have not been checked. There's Confederate flags. There's Trump flags. Anything could be in those trucks. And then across those railroad tracks, right on the other side of that fence, that's where I had walked outside the event to go to show how close it was. Right behind that white truck, Patty, that's where Kamala was standing. That's like 150 yards. It's not well within range, I'll see. But to Van's point, I have been to Beto O'Rourke's thing, walk right in.
I've been to his too. His is good. He be doing something different.
Yeah.
But he does have
all right, nobody patted me down. I just went to Tallarico's thing, walked right in, nobody patted me down. Now, granted, they are not. I would not say they were in danger like a Kamala. Kamala in Texas was absolutely in danger. So I agree with Ben. I've been shocked at some of the amount of access that you're able to get to some of these folks.
All right. Well, I guess that's a portion that we don't necessarily need to know, other than the fact that their safety is on the line. So, anything else? Conversation?
Yeah, I have one more offering. What comes to mind when I hear y'all say, like, oh, she was in danger, there was nobody around, is like when she was shopping with Doug in the grocery store, and people were like, oh my gosh, she's just in the grocery store, like anybody could come up. There was like 15 plainclothes Secret Service in the grocery store with her. So again, just because you don't see it, don't mean it.
Oh my God, we know that. Those are oh my God, this is insane. First of all, I don't know if you know this.
I was not talking to just you, sir.
I know, and I'm not responding to just you.
Okay.
We know that they have plainclothes Secret Service in those kinds of events. I'm not talking about that. I'm telling you, in the second instance, I saw Tim Walz on a college campus attention because they get it leading up to the campaign. He'd been nominated. Students with book bags that had not been checked, they didn't submit anything, were going up to Tim Walz, taking pictures. Any of those students could have had a gun in their bag and he would have been popped off. Doesn't matter. First of all, and by the way, every building can't be stood on, just so people know this. You can't stand on every building. I don't want to get into that. There are certain historical buildings and chapels and temples and stuff that you can't stand on for lots of reasons, but that's a different discussion. Anyway, up to them, the selfie sticks, and the whole thing. The Secret Service was around. I'm not saying they weren't there. I saw him thronged by scores of students. Yeah, throng. Pop. He could have been popped, and nobody could have did anything. That's a lot different than going to get your favorite fried chicken or a bowl of chili from Ben's in D.C. That's a lot different when Obama went to Ben's. But hey, maybe all the students were fake students and they were also Secret Service.
I'm screaming. Was this before or after Charlie Kirk? Just out of curiosity, because I feel like college campuses are dual assassinating.
What? What do you mean? I said it was in the 2024 election.
Okay, I didn't hear that part.
Well, why else would people be thronging Tim Walz? Unless it was a lesbian convention. Huh?
I'm screaming. Okay, so this was before big assassination happened on a college campus. So, it kind of checks out that it would be lax. Typically in this country, something has to get ruined. Something has to get ruined by somebody else in order for them to take extra precautions like the next time in the future. So.
It's still lax. There's no way you can do the kind of things on college campuses and it not be lax when the quote principals it's still lax. Senators come through, governors go through, etc. It's very lax. I know y'all think that because
So I was on a campus during the Abigail Spanberger run when Obama came to ODU. I went to that, and I may be biased. I put it in the chat. I did a lot of events for multiple different levels of dignitaries and principals, but I feel like whenever it's known that Obama is going to be there, it's a heightened level of security. I don't know why. I don't know if it has to do with the threat level, but it just seems like there's way more preparation in advance, and like the way his detail moves through or whatever, it just always seems like it's way more intense than any of the others that I've been in over like the past 15 years. Does anybody else have that type of comparison? Like whether it's a church, whether it's a rally, whether it's him speaking at a college campus, it just seems like it just seems like there's way more red tape, way more security involved. Yeah, I've had that. That's why I said I don't know what happened at their actual rallies or because we've had that problem. I went to the brunch, the Kamala brunch. It was a lot of fucking red tape behind that. Like they even had to contact my command team. I went to 4 rallies. One of them was Walz. It was red tape behind that. And then it was also because of the seating. And the time and then there was a window of time that I had to be there or I would have lost my seat. So I don't know what happened with any of these other rallies, but yeah, that's my experience.
I have a question. I mean, but when you have a rally, and especially when you have like thousands of people, that's more difficult. You cannot control that crowd the way you think you can. And you're only as safe as you possibly can be. I went to a rally when he first ran for president. It wasn't that difficult for me to get in. And this is after they did that heightened security risk for him. I'm quite sure that there were a few more people that were protecting him up on that stage. But in terms of the crowd control, I don't think you can control it. And I don't care how cracked the team is.
You can never control it 100%.
we could have. They probably did have background. We don't know, honestly. If they're having the president there, I know.
Bottom line, they fuck it up.
Right, but we don't know if the people that stayed in the hotel during that, they had to get pre-approval to stay during that day. And even if they did a background check, even like listening to what they said about him in the past, he wouldn't look like a danger.
They did do a background check on all of the people in the hotel, and he came.
Yeah, he definitely want to come off.
You mean even the guests? I mean, they had nothing to do with the event.
So I don't know about what they do in DC. So now we're going into conspiracy theory. I'm just saying from my experience, and then she was saying that they did do a background check. I don't know why they would have people in a hotel knowing that this was going to happen. They would have probably bought out the hotel, to be honest.
They probably swept the guest list. And they probably
That's what she just said.
Yeah.
Kiana just
That's
said
what
they
the guest list.
That's what they said. I'm seeing that.
Yeah, they probably had dogs. Well, they probably had dogs outside the during a bomb.
Now, that's the information I had. Never got a dog.
What is this from a security expert?
Wait a minute, can I just stick to one point?
What about the fake security experts on this page talking about what they know happened and what they know didn't happen? I don't understand some of y'all.
So, if they know the event is going to be there, anybody that calls in and tries to do reservations during a period of time, I assume you're saying that they did a background check on them before they could actually book the room? Because I don't understand, in regards to why you would let people, make reservations during that period of time that you know that he's going to be there. You know
He
what I mean?
said he had a ticket as well, right?
Oh, I don't know. Because if he had a ticket, then he
No,
could
the
have
one that I just played, the video that I just played earlier said that he was supposed to be in attendance.
That makes sense that they would have done a background check on him because he was a ticketed attendee, and whatever background check they ran didn't give them any cause to consider him a risk for anything. But I don't know what kind of background check they ran, but usually when people are attending ticketed events at which a president or VP will speak, some kind of background check is done.
Yeah, and it's not a bullshit background check. They go through Deoxy. Even with mine, when they were doing the background check, my J told me that they were doing the background check because what happens is they can see it all in Deoxy. So because I worked in a certain position, there was one of my homegirls called me and said, "Hey, they're doing a background check on me. I don't know what's going on. Did you get a ticket or something?" And I said, "No, I'm going to Kamala's thing." So I know what our background checks look like when it goes through her, and for her to be able to see it, obviously, because they get alerts. Our team if you work in a certain position, if something's coming up where they're doing a check on me, somebody will let me know, hey, there's a check being done. What's going on? Like, did you get a ticket? Did you do this? No. I think it's Kamala Harris. So, yeah, they do background checks. And Deoxy is not just some fucking check your fucking ticket type thing. They go through the FBI files. They freaking CIA files. They look up who your parents are. They do a background check on your parents. So it's a whole thing. And that was just for brunch and a goddamn seat in a certain area.
Yeah, they had a Democrat representative on Dana Bash this morning, and he was saying that they do background checks on basically everybody staying at the hotel. They look for the red flag laws or whatever that they passed legislation, and he didn't come up because he had a clean record.
Oh my God, I'm stunned. America elected Donald Trump as president. Iran has an embassy in Mexico in which when they send shipments, fewer than 5% of the stuff gets checked. Okay. You have a Secretary of Defense in Pete Hegseth, and your FBI director is Kachap Patel. Okay. We have all kinds of cyber attacks, logistical failures, et cetera, and intelligent people honestly believe check on 1,000 people plus for the White House Correspondents' Dinner? If they did, they did not. If they did, we need to find the people who were kicked out of the hotel. Because it's virtually statistically impossible that everyone that was in that hotel passed the background check. Okay? Where are the people that didn't make did they lose their rooms? What happens if you don't pass the background check?
So I don't think they just give you a room until you pass that back. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused.
Was the background check before?
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't take long to do a back. I mean, it does take a while, but you can do a background check. There's enough people in the government to do a background check of over 1,000 people.
That's not what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, so say I go on Kayak, right? To get it, it's a massive hotel. I book it a month in advance, 2 months in advance. Where are the people that failed the background check subsequent to booking it in the event?
Well, they would have it where if you did it like that, they would just say you have to contact the hotel for this particular period of time. Say why we wouldn't be able to. I'm trying to tell you.
They probably have blackout dates.
Okay, got it.
And you acting like they can't issue a refund and say, I'm sorry, sir, you can't stay here.
What I'm saying is, this federal government is competent. That's what I'm saying. You talk about how incompetent they are every day, and now today they're competent. Go ahead, Hurricane. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. So maybe I'm not looking at this the way that some of the other people who believe the background check was conducted are looking at it. I was under the impression that if a background check were performed, it was performed only on the people who had tickets to attend the event, and not every single person stayed at the hotel.
They're saying everybody.
Why would you think that they would do a background check on everybody? First of all, performing a background check on somebody without the person's permission, if you don't have cause to do so, raises concerns about violating people's rights. I do not believe. Hold on,
Yes,
Trent.
it does.
Trent, I'm talking to you. Hold on.
Yes, it
So I just read it during the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
May I finish, please?
Well, you can't get a hotel room, period.
That's not.
I'm reading it right now. I just Googled it. You cannot get a room. It has to be approved. So it's like you can go in, somebody brought up blackout dates, that's probably their blackout dates.
So how do you get a room?
They said they have the rooms reserved, or I guess the government pays for them, a year ahead of time. It said media organizations, sponsors, VIP delegations are the books.
So he got a room through the Washington Post.
So the question is, how'd the guy get the room?
He just said he had a room.
Let me see. It says everyone else stands in the building.
Wait, the White House Correspondents Association can pay for 1,000 rooms?
No. So it says the remaining rooms, if any, require certain connections, invitations, and package access. So obviously they do a background check.
Wait,
So I don't know.
let me say-
We can find with the net. Y'all can call the hotel and find out how to get a room during the White House Correspondents' Dinner. But it's actually saying online you cannot get a room during this time. You have to have, it says, a required connection, invitation, a certain package access.
Yeah, and his sister has media connections.
Okay, hold on, Trent. So I already heard a loophole that people could use if they know how to work the system. You need to have a connection. So just about anybody who has a connection that suffices for getting a room at the White House could get one. So it doesn't.
His sister has media connections.
Trent, hold on, let me get to the facts. There are 1,107 rooms and suites in that hotel. The average price, hold on 1 second. Average price per night, this is in DC, 1 second, is, let's do $200.
$200.
I'm pretty sure it's more than that.
Yeah, it's at least 300.
Okay.
Frank, shut up. It doesn't matter.
It's fine. Oh my God, Hurricane, good Lord. You guys are telling me that and all of those, yeah, I put in fees and all that stuff. You're telling me, Trent, you're saying that the White House Correspondents Association bought up $500,000 worth of rooms for a 3-hour event.
It didn't.
I don't know if they did or not.
They don't have to buy it. They just reserve it, and then the people themselves pay for it.
Right.
Not the government actually pay for it.
Okay, so I got you. That's great. So that means that most of the people work and live in D.C. They're not coming in from the White House correspondents, right? So they work for the White House. It's not just a journalist thing. But even take half. You're telling me that they spent $250,000 for a 3-hour event, every year.
Yeah, I would say that's probably feasible. Yeah.
Yeah, Trent, really? Where do they have no money laying around?
We have never heard, none of us have ever heard, in the history of this thing, none of us have ever heard that the White House correspondents buy out the hotel. Many of us live in D.C., they're around the events. We've never heard, by the way, presidents do events at hotels in D.C., they've done it all the time.
So
This
it's
is not the only event.
So Ben, hold on. I want to agree with Ben. Hold on. I want to agree with Ben. The back. Oh, sorry, Ben.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. You paused. I'm sorry. Go on, Ben. Sorry.
Pause.
Okay, sorry.
It's probably a combination.
It's probably because Trent keep coming off mic, and then Nat thought that you were finished. Go ahead, Ben. Ben, please finish saying what you're saying.
The point I'm trying to say
And then
is
we're
that
going to
this is
Nat.
not the only event that presidents do in public. Right? So, based on what the logic of what you guys are saying is that whenever presidents, and probably vice presidents too, because it's a constitutional officer, and I'll leave it there. I won't even say Supreme Court justices, although maybe, but let's say president, probably Speaker of the House, but let's just say president and vice president. Whenever they show up for events in hotels, they buy out the hotel.
So it doesn't say nothing about them buying out the hotel. The Hilton does it on their own. It says the Washington Hilton on their own. It says they do early block out access. So honestly,
For the whole
for them,
hotel?
so check this out. I don't know. I don't care. To be honest, I really don't give a fuck. It says that they have certain access. That's it. You're not going to get around. If they're saying it, I'm not the one to question it. I really don't give a fuck how they get their money. For them, this might be free advertisement. It's something that's done every year. It's something that they're willing to take a loss on that day or the day before or whatever. 3 days, how many days it takes for them to fucking organize this shit. They said it's block access. You have to have special access to get a hotel room. I really don't give a fuck, to be honest. I don't know why we're arguing about
and
how much the hotel pays. The other house is
Just like to argue.
If the hotel said that they block that access and it's only special invitation packages, if that's what they're saying it is, then that's what it is. Why are you arguing about this? This is like really simple.
Well, no, it's not silly. Let me tell you why it's not silly. That means it is a massive conspiracy. Because this is what I was trying to get to before I was cut off. If what you're saying and everybody else is saying is true, that means that there's a massive government conspiracy because the boy with guns and manifesto and pictures and IDF t-shirts, et cetera, means it was an inside job because he only could have gotten the room that way. That's why I figured that's why it wouldn't make any sense.
He had a ticket.
So what you're all saying is this is a massive inside job. Cool.
He had a ticket
So
as
Matt might have been right.
He had a ticket to the White House Correspondent Dinner as well. So what background checks did he pass to get that?
So I want to
Access.
Can I add that real quick? So in the style section of the Post, Mara, the writer of the article, she was there at the correspondent dinner, said no one can get in without an invitation, but you didn't need your ID. I mean, yeah, you didn't need an ID to get in.
Get in where?
To get into the correspondence dinner. So you had the invitation, right? You can go in. But how do you know that the person that has the invitation
was the person that was actually invited to the White House.
Correct. And the only thing I wanted to correct about what Patty was saying about the only thing I want to correct Patty about the background check is, you know, you and I both know, being in the kind of in the government space and doing these background checks, is that, you know, the hotel would have to get the person's social security number, or beforehand someone would have to request for them to provide their P2 information in order for them to run that. And I don't think if someone booked it a year out, that, you know, to kind of what Ben is saying, I don't think someone is saying, hey, we need to conduct this check before you can book a room. You know, I can understand maybe when you get there or something, they say, hey, look, there's a special event happening. You know, you need to provide this information about who you are and, you know, this particular information. Otherwise, you know, we'll have to sit you at another hotel nearby or something. That I can understand. But at the time of booking, I really doubt they're asking for P2 information.
Yeah, but they actually said it's locked access during this time.
Correct. So somebody would be.
Here you go, Ned, simple. You're on the list. So whoever gets the list would then just send it out to the person.
That's what I just said. That's what I just said. Yeah. If I'm saying if it's just a general dude booking from outside, there's no way they'll do it. But if you're right, if it's somebody giving it to you, they'll say, hey, before I can give you this room, you got to fill out this thing, and they'll send them the NBIS or whatever thing they send them for, you know, the security vetting. I don't know if they're going to use this or whatever, but the fact is, you know, they'll do that. So yeah, you're right. If it's given out that way, that's the only way they'll do it. But that means that he's a known person. I think that's what Ben is kind of coming at. If that's the case, then this guy was known by somebody, and somebody recommended this guy to come. And that means that, you know, it was like that person should own up, or this guy was invited. Who the hell invited him? Right? That's the key.
So look, let me just say, man, I got the numbers real quick. Okay, tickets are $3,500 a piece. And there's 260 tables. So even if they're not, and so I can't tell if they're selling the tables for $3,500. The tables are probably more than $3,500. I guess that's per individual. But that's $910,000 if we're just talking about tables for tickets. So I think that, you know, plus you're going to have, like somebody already said, Turner, Fox. They all put in for this. So yeah, it would make things really.
Yeah, I'm reading the Associated Press. Quote, access to the hotel was restricted to hotel guests. So everybody in the hotel was not involved with the dinner. You could have had a room and not been part of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's literally in the Associated Press article. That's what I've been trying to say. They did not reserve or block out the whole entire hotel for a 3-hour event. Anybody that knows been in D.C., they've had it there for 50 plus years. Guess what? You can go to the bar where the event's not at and meet a lot of politicos. There's a lot of trade there. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about.
That doesn't mean that the guests that were there didn't go through a background check for if they were going to be there during that time period.
I understand that, which goes back to my original point. Where are the people who didn't pass a background check? Because statistically, there are people who wouldn't have passed. That's my original question. What were they told?
Okay, so here's the thing. If it's a minimal background investigation, right, then what they will be checking for is for top flag, right? You know, the top flags. A person can't pass, you know, criminal background. He may never had a criminal background.
And man,
he can pass.
I'm not talking about the shooter.
I'm sorry. Right, you're just talking about all the other people.
I'm saying it's a bunch of people in D.C. who get hotels who are felons, who might have something on social media. It's anti-Trump. I'm saying that if they background checked it, thousands of people, or say 1,000 people, statistically, somebody would have been red flag. I've never heard of those people.
They got a refund and had to stay someplace else.
I understand that. I'm asking, where are they?
Saying that they never complained, nobody's ever talked about.
That's what I'm saying. We've never seen that, which makes me believe they don't background check all the guests the way everybody thinks that they do. Because I believe the federal government is incompetent, and it's run by incompetent people. The fact that you all think they're competent and do the things that is news to me, based off how y'all talk about the federal government every day. That's all I'm saying.
It's hard for me to believe that a was not attending the event, there was no grounds for performing the kind of background check that you guys believe was performed on them. I am so sorry.
Hurricane, it said blocked access for those days. Whether you're going to, it doesn't say that you have to be, it said you can be a special guest. You have to have, it said blocked access, period. I don't know what more y'all want to hear. I don't know what more y'all want to hear. Now, if you're saying that somebody would lackadaisical on fucking doing the background check for the guests that were there that may not be attending, I get it. But to say that they don't have blocked access, it actually says they blocked the access during those days.
Blocked access to the event is not the same thing.
It's not the event. I wasn't talking about the event. I was talking about booking rooms. If you paid attention to what I said, it said during the event, hotel rooms, to get a hotel room, they have blocked access. Period.
When does the blocked access?
I don't know. I don't care.
Okay, hold on. Actually, what's
Saying
happening
it's
about
4
this?
hours, 5 hours, you can't just stay in a hotel. I don't give a fuck.
I don't know why.
To be honest with you, I do agree with the point that there's a possibility that somebody might have been lackadaisical with the goddamn, that's a possibility because there's been fucking investigations on fucking third-party contractors that have been doing fucking the background checks for people that do need these background checks.
Well, we didn't need a background.
By third party.
Wait, hold on.
We didn't need a background check. Let me give you some breaking news.
What's the argument?
Well, I think you want to hear the breaking news.
Let me respond to her. So
Go ahead.
here's where I'm not. Here's what I'm not buying. You guys seem to be arguing that the hotel said from X date to X date, we're not letting people stay here unless they can show us that they're attending this event. And
We didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. All I said was they have blocked access to the
What
hotel.
does that mean? What does blocked access mean? Tell me.
You cannot get a room during that day.
We're moving on. Go ahead, check.
Let me
tell you why.
This ain't the waiting world. I don't know. You don't know. We don't know.
Let's talk about move on. I'm asking questions trying to understand what Patty's saying.
Well, let me just tell you why real quick why it doesn't matter. Let me tell you why it doesn't matter. His written manifesto. Okay, thank you. His written manifesto that Trump administration's officials, his social media was filled with Trump and anti-Christian rhetoric. His own brother contacted police in Connecticut after Allen sent the manifesto to family members prior to the attack occurring.
This is false all over the place.
Background check.
Yeah, he regularly, let me just finish it, it's almost done. He regularly trained at a shooting range and was a member of a group called the Wide Awakes. He had a history of radical statements, constantly talking about doing something to fix the world's problems. He purchased 2 handguns and a shotgun cap tactical firearms to keep them at home and family, and their parents had no idea the weapons were there. He attended the No King protest in California.
False flag. Thank you very much.
And that's the only thing I said I agree with you on is the lackadaisical. Because we've had investigations on third-party contractors when it came to background investigations. Because what'll happen is somebody will fucking get a fucking ticket, and what they have to do is a memorandum, and they whatever third party we have at the time will fucking do a quick check, and then something pops up within the last 7 years, and then they'll be like, hey, what happened? Why was this not caught?
Yeah, it
So
continues.
I can see where there could be somebody did not do their fucking job when it came to the background check. But outside of that, if the fucking hotel says they block it, what's the problem?
Patty, his brother called the police.
I got you, and I said I agree with you on the background check. I agree with you on that. Somebody approved him to stay in the goddamn hotel.
So the BBC reports that, quote, there were guests at the Washington Hilton who were not attending the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The hotel remained open to the public.
No blocked access for those
There was
homes.
no book. Yeah.
says they can rent a room, even though the hotel says they block access for.
They block access, it says here, to the ballroom and where the dignitaries would be. But if you were there for your son's the T-ball tournament and you booked it a year out, you just went to your hotel room.
Well, from what I'm reading, they actually said they have hotel room. They have blocked access to getting a room, and you have to do it a year, anywhere from 6 months to a year out.
So what if people reserve their rooms a year and a half?
I don't think you can do that. You can't usually block that far in advance. So
No, not that far.
So, James, the only government that usually comes to the U.S. That would usually come to the U.S. and pretty much take control of an entire hotel room is the Saudi Arabian government. The United States government, under no circumstances do I ever remember. So I'll give you an example. Crown Plaza Hotel in KC, there was a time Barack Obama, when he goes around the country as a head of state, decided this was where he was staying for the 2 days.
Nobody's talking about the government blocking it out. We just said that the hotel itself says that they do block access.
I'm not saying necessarily the government, but the hotel in itself, because guests were still being able to come in, and this is just across the board. Even when they do foreign travels, is there security? Absolutely yes, but this is not going to prevent hotels from actually being able to bring in new guests or people coming in and going out.
Nobody said that.
Okay. All right. Can I read the manifesto?
The fake manifesto?
Yeah, the Mossad read it. Hello, everyone. So I may have given a lot of people a surprise today. Let me start off by apologizing to everyone whose trust I abused. I apologize to my parents for saying I had an interview without specifying it was for, quote, most wanted. I apologize to my colleagues and students for saying I had a personal emergency. By the time anyone reads this, I probably, most certainly do need to go to the ER, but can hardly call that a self-inflicted status. I apologize to all of the people I traveled next to, all the workers who handled my luggage, and all the other non-targeted people at the hotel who I put in danger by simply being near. I apologize to everyone who was abused and or murdered before this, to all those who suffered before I was able to attempt this, to all those who may still suffer after, regardless of my success or failure. I don't expect forgiveness, but if I could have seen any other way to get this close, I would have taken it. Again, my sincere apologies. On to why I did any of this. I'm a citizen of the United States of America. What my representatives do reflects me. And I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. Well, to be completely honest, I was no longer willing to a long time ago, but this is the first real opportunity I've had to do something about it. While I'm discussing this, I'll also go over my expected rules of engagement, probably in a terrible format, but I am not military, so too bad. Administration officials, not including Mr. Patel, they are the targets. Prioritized from highest ranking to lowest. Secret Service, they are targets only if necessary and to be incapacitated non-lethally if possible, aka if they're wearing body armor, because center mass with gunshot messes up people who, quote, aren't. Hotel security, not targets if at all possible, aka unless they shoot at me. Capitol Police, same as hotel security. National Guard, same as hotel security. Hotel employees, not targets at all. Guests, not targets at all. In order to minimize casualties, I will also be using buckshot rather than slugs, less penetration through walls. I would still go through everyone here to get to the targets if it were absolutely necessary, on the basis that the most people, quote, chose to attend a speech by a pedophile, rapist, and traitor, and are thus complicit, but I really hope it doesn't come to that. So that's his manifesto. So he was after the Trump administration officials and not any of the other people at the event. Interesting. Okay. The besides all over this.
Did he say except Mr. Patel?
Yeah, he wasn't after Mr. Patel. Probably
What the hell?
They're probably drinking. You have to understand. They probably go to Israel every with Patel's girlfriend on their private plane, and they drink. So he's probably friends with him. Anyway, let's go.
Oh, I heard Mr.
Wait a minute. That didn't sound like a teacher wrote it. That was.
It sounds like it was written in a back office of an FBI field office.
And he also graduated with a 3.9 from Caltech.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The most illustrious and I would argue best institution probably in the United States. That sounds like a Caltech 3.0. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, Elise. He went to Caltech.
Yes, he did. He graduated with a master's. It does sound like
No, the master's wasn't from Caltech.
okay. I won't dispute on that. It does sound like a manifesto. I just haven't seen it.
Do you have a history of reading manifestos? What the fuck?
Yeah, I do. He said I do.
You know what? All I think is Trent said. Him reading a lot of manifestos, I do believe it's true.
Yeah, 1,000%. I read Sandy Hook and El Paso, unfortunately, to see what was behind these people. They are very detailed about the guns they use, their plan. It's part of the psychology behind it.
And you thought what you just heard was that convincing? Was similar to what you saw from Sandy Hook?
There was a couple of things about the Secret Service. It was just a really weird statement about center mass, because that's actually where, I don't know, I guess somebody was shot. Where did you see this, Matt? I'm just asking, Matt, where did you see this? Because I haven't seen it.
Wait. I mean, Trent, there are many things that center mass is stood out to.
Not you asking for receipts. What's going on, Trent? Hello?
I haven't seen. I've seen a lot of
Trent, go look for it since you haven't seen it. You're obviously behind the ball. Then go look for it. Go look. And report back once you found it.
Well, you know what? The thing that's really weird is him being able to get access to that hotel. And that's why I do have a lot of problems with our third-party contractors that do these background checks. I don't even know if they're actually reaching out to, sometimes you feel like they didn't reach out to the CIA, because we've had issues before, not recently. I think we've been working, I don't know. But I know like 3 years ago, we had an issue with an individual soldier, and something came back, and he had a Yankee white clearance. So that means he can be next to the president. But the people that do these background checks, there has to be something like, I don't know, they have to be held responsible. Now, that's one thing I will 100% agree with you. If the hotel says it's blocked, it's blocked. But who they let into that hotel, even if they were, say for example, they had some type of special invitation that they're able to get a room just to be in proximity. Those background checks got it. They're paying money. The United States government is paying a lot of money to these third-party contractors to do these goddamn background checks. For someone to be able to fucking say, oh, he went to this, he did that, there's an investigator will show up at your house. Am I right, Nat?
Yeah, I mean,
they show up. You know, they came and talked to me. They came and talked to me because this is with an upgrade on my clearance, because my daughter was friends with someone in Bahrain.
Yeah, and you're in continuous vetting. That's why, because you're in continuous vetting, so they do that. They'll ping you all the time on it. And, you know, it's something, Patty, that is interesting. Which agency is also doing this vetting? Because if it's DoD, then DCSA is giving a lot of these contracts over to CACI and other agencies, which is another problem, because CACI also does other contracts, and so they're doing their own people investigations. Kind of dicey, but yeah, I mean, so that's been a problem that I've had for a long time, is why is another contractor doing these DCSA contracts? But anyway, we can talk about that later.
I had to sit in my car and talk to an investigator because my daughter's best friend, and they were still communicating through messages, emails, and still talking, and she's left. This was my last chat. They talked to me about, like, how do I know the family? What is my daughter's association? I was like, what the fuck does her family do? Her family doesn't do nothing. It's just they have investments in China. They have investments here. They have investments there. Like, from my understanding, just being invested in a business in China losing your clearance.
Yep, and you have to report that apparently to your FSO. I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, some of these, if you go in debt, right? I have one guy on my team who went into debt. He took out a loan for I think $100,000 or something, and immediately it got a ping, and it says you must provide supplemental information. He provided it, and then they stripped his clearance. I had to remove him from the contract, and then suddenly, 6 months later, he's back on because they had a conversation and figured out that he wasn't compromised. Their feeling is that China and other nations will compromise you based upon money or whatever, and so you'll turn on the United States.
Are all background checks the same? Y'all are acting like every background.
No, they're not all the same.
They're not.
Okay. They're not exactly.
Yeah,
But
DOD.
anything from secret on up, even with secret, TS will go 10 years.
TS is 5.
7 years.
Patty P.
Regardless of the fact, even if you pass for a secret, more than likely you're going to get a TS.
Yeah, but
So
the background checks that they performed for this event yesterday, those were not the same. Are you saying that those are the same background checks they performed to give people top?
Well, that's what I'm asking. I don't think they did it that way.
You can pass the secret, you more than likely can pass the top secret.
Yeah, but Patty, what he's saying is valid. Typically, they do what's called a T1, which is called a trustworthiness check.
Okay, I don't care what the acronym is. Y'all be throwing out acronyms like people give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. The bottom
Well, then
line
you
is,
asking the questions. Don't ask the question if you don't give a fuck.
well, I'm saying he should explain shit, because when people start talking about XYZ, G24 and all that
If you
shit,
ask, then he's going to explain. He's telling you the level of clearances and what it is. So if you don't ask, then guess what? Don't answer it, because he's asking a question that you don't want to answer.
So the boy's brother called and said he's going to do X, Y, and Z.
Do we have the date that he called?
Yeah, I got it. But Ben, here I've got the story. He called New London, Connecticut.
they're asking for the date, Trent. The story was being told by someone other than you.
Okay, but he called the same day.
Dan was telling the story. Give me and then shut up so the band can continue.
I don't know it. That's what I'm asking. What's going on?
It's CBS News. I was reading it while you guys were going back and forth. The brother said he literally called moments before. So as the guy decided to dart downstairs, he literally sent the manifesto to people. Like literally right before.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was gonna say, but Hurricane didn't want to hear it. So
Because you were saying all the other shit that didn't matter. That's why.
And you know what? I'm going to put the link from CBS News that I read in the chat for everybody.
Yeah, but the clearance thing, Dan is 100% right. It's a problem. It's a problem even within our own DOD. So I can stand check this out. My daughter has been emailing. She's been going to school with this girl forever. No, not forever. They went to school together for 2 years. They're best friends. My daughter even considered back to Bahrain to go to school at one time. So I can tell you this. It didn't pop up until I fucking had to redo my clearance, right before I was doing my clearance. And that was during that investigation. So even with the periodic checks that you're talking about, King Nam, they should have fucking did that. Because even with us, with TSs, and when you got a Yankee White, they're supposed to do periodics within that 5-year window. So they should have known that my daughter was friends with her. They fucking monitoring me like a fucking, like when it comes to like how I move, when I fucking PCS from here to there, they call my goddamn elementary school teacher. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't ask the question until it was almost time for me to renew my clearance.
Yeah, they play that game.
So, quick question. What was the group that he was a part of? Does anybody know about that group? You got into intel?
The Radical Mujahideen of Clubhouse.
No, what is the name of the group, Trent? So we can look at it.
I want to make sure I know something that let me make sure I got it right.
You can just say you don't know.
He read it.
But you don't know. Why not just say you don't know instead of running?
He said that. He said, I don't know. As if he was looking for it. He's saying you don't know right off the top of his head. He was trying to skim through. But yeah, I want to know what type of work that is. And then he just started the gun range. That was the other part.
I got the guns, and when they were purchased, what's the name of this group? Where did I see that?
The
Matt
wide
said
awake.
something about awake. Okay.
The wide awake.
Wide Awake.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the guns, it's a left-leaning, they just said a left-leaning group. I can tell you the guns were purchased October 6, 2023. He purchased a 38 caliber semi-automatic pistol from a store in Southern California. And then August 17th of 2025, he got a 12-gauge shotgun from Torrance. Both purchases passed the FBI background check because the background check sucked. and he bought them legally. They also, I'll end with this. They interviewed his sister in Rockville, Maryland, and some people have alleged, because she was connected to some media types, that she was the one who gave him insight to the dinner, but that's a very unconfirmed. One more thing. There is one weird thing. There is a Twitter account which tweeted the name Cole Allen in 2023. It is the only thing that this account, that the account is Henry Martinez. It is the only thing that this account ever tweeted was that name, Cole Allen. The weird thing is Henry Martinez is linked to the same NASA jet propulsion department that Cole Allen was a intern for in 2014. And the icon within that Twitter feed is a Pepe the Frog icon, and it's wearing a tuxedo, very similar, just like all the people, but especially Trump was wearing that day. Same bow tie, same everything. Just really.
Okay, thanks. That's a bit weird. So we know where his guns are. I guess I shouldn't ask about the weight group again. His sister lives in Rockville, so are they Marylanders or are they Californians? I know he lived in California. Did his sister? I don't know. Just trying to keep the questions going.
His sister and brother both came this way, just to different states.
Okay, so they were born in California?
From the article I read, that's what it appears.
Damn biracial. Child. It is kind of weird that they didn't kill him, though.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the minute you take a shot at one of these guys, they would have I feel they should have pumped him full of lead. Unless, I mean, the only thing I can think of.
And it would have been justified, King Nat.
Correct. And Patty, my view is when you look at the video and you look to the right, you kind of see all the agents pull out their weapon, and then suddenly it looks like they put it away. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like they put away their weapon as if someone tackled the guy or something, and then they thought, okay, no need to shoot any further. The other thing that I think is maybe while trying to shoot this guy, it was actually an agent that ended up shooting the other agent. It could be, and this guy didn't actually get a shot off. And I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll find out.
Agents that got Secret Service agents are fucking prior military, and they're supposed to be experts. When you cannot become a Secret Service agent without being an expert, and those Secret Service agents are taught to shoot to kill.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, if this guy got a shot off on one of those agents, he would have been pumped full of lead, probably at least 5-6 bullets at a minimum, right? And so, what the hell happened? So I'm trying to understand that, and I hope that comes up. I don't know.
Did you say?
How many people were in that room at the time? Because if the guests are there, aren't you? I'm just asking the question because I'm not a gun expert, but don't you risk the chance of not only killing the person that you the target, but also the other people in the room?
That's true, sure.
They were in the hallway. They were in the hallway. They were in the lobby. And from the looks of the camera, it was only the agents standing around. I didn't see many people. Wolf Blitzer happened to be in the lobby at the time. He said he was tackled by an agent that jumped on top of him. I assume that they were trying to protect the other people, but there didn't seem to be that many people.
Yeah, Sherry's right. When it comes to these guys, you got a lot of people, like even with my homegirl, she got over freaking 16 years of fucking constantly shooting, right? I'm not talking about shooting the enemy, I'm talking about practicing shooting. We fucking constantly practice. Like if you're not an expert in shooting by the year 10, then you're just awake, something's wrong with your eyesight, something's going on. So if you're a Secret Service agent, they have more discipline than just regular law enforcement. They should have more discipline at least. So you're right. It's maybe they took into consideration I don't know, but they are taught to shoot to kill. Like if somebody pops off a fucking gunshot, then they're supposed to shoot center mass. We're taught center mass. If BWA was here, he'll tell you we're not taught to shoot you in the arm. We're taught to shoot center mass. Every fucking range that you go to is center mass, whether you're using a 9mm, M16, M4, 03, a goddamn saw, any weapon you use, we are taught to shoot center mass. We're not taught nothing less. And Secret Service agents, a lot of them are taught the same. Not a lot of them. That is their job, is to shoot center mass, especially in that type of situation. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what happened.
No, I got a question. You said there was reporting it was said that the Secret Service agent shot the other Secret Service agent. That's what happened?
No. I was just speculating. I was saying, I was trying to understand how did this happen? Because if this guy shot at an agent, the agents would have, that's what Patty's saying too, the agents would have unloaded on the guy and he would have been filled with lead. So I said, maybe, I was just, theorizing, maybe they tackled him or something, or maybe trying to shoot the guy pulled out his gun and then some, wouldn't do it or whatever, and somebody ended up shooting and, accidentally hit the other. I don't know. I'm just figuring out, how the hell does this guy shoot someone and not get loaded up with, and die, basically, right?
When they were speculating on CNN last night, they said that a reason for him not getting shot immediately was because he might have bombs or AEDs, and that's why he was photographed naked, because they gotta strip you of your clothes to make sure you're not wearing a bomb. So that could be why they didn't immediately fill him with lead. But they also reported that the shooter was dead 5 minutes after it happened. So niggas was speculating and didn't know what was going on, period.
Yeah, since
I think that was the first part that
Yeah, I think looking at the video, that boy looked like Reggie Bush from around that corner. And by the time they could react, I think that other agents, I think you're right, Patty. I think there's possibility that it was other agents that shot the agent. I don't even know if he got a shot off.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, well,
that boy was flying.
Trent, since we're speculating, I'm just gonna give my own version of conspiracy theory. The last few days, I'd say about the past 2 weeks, there's been a surge in people talking about
what happened in Butler. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene have been amplifying some of this stuff, claiming that what happened in Butler was staged. What if this was just something to kind of put that to bed and remind someone? And you know who has been at the heart of the center both events? The current director of Secret Service. I watched this conference, not the Trump one, immediately after when the DC mayor, then the Metropolitan Police and Secret Service plus the, I think the FBI field office person were doing their press conference. If anyone has ever seen a qualified individual, just give a press conference to give out any information, even if they don't have much, there is something that they do that communicates well to the general public. The current guy, Sean Curran, or whatever his last name is, I don't know how to pronounce it. That guy should have never been. He came from being Donald Trump's lead agent to leading a $3.5 billion agency. I have never seen anyone do that switch from something like that to become an executive at the top echelon of an agency like that. But guess what? He spoke. If you heard him speak, he sounded like the manifesto that Matt read in this room. Let me read what Maya put, because she's not going to put up. Apparently, this was more from the manifesto. Allen mocked the, quote, insane lack of security at the Washington Hilton when he arrived armed to the teeth without so much as a sideways glance. Quote, like, the one thing that I nearly noticed walking into the hotel is the sense of arrogance. I walk in with multiple weapons and not a single person there considers the possibility that I could be a threat. Quote, he wrote. He added, like if I was an Iranian agent instead of an American citizen, I could have brought a damn Mahdouss in here and no one would have noticed shit. Actually insane, he wrote, invoking a nickname for the M2 Browning 50 caliber machine gun. So he was not checked. But I was told that the building that I'm in, where I am, people were standing on top of it. Keanu. So he literally was not checked walking into guns in a place with the president. Not checked at all. Wrote about it in the manifesto, had the guns. But you're telling me that the vice president had people standing on top of a chapel that's hundreds of years old, that when a bird lands on it, the roof feels like it's going to collapse. Y'all got it. Keanu also did a full background check. Yeah, thanks, Mike.
That's what the Democrat senator from Florida said when he was talking to Dana Bash this morning. Okay, I am not a journalist. That's what's happening.
You told me that there were snipers in my buildings.
I said hold space for the possibility that they were there and you didn't see them.
Hold space for the possibility.
Don't put words in my mouth, sir.
Hold space for the possibility that a man went to the White House Correspondents' Center hotel, had multiple guns, walked in with them, and no one checked him. Hold space for that. Hold space for the fact that this country is ghetto.
Staged. I think the whole thing is staged. So
hold space for the fact that this country is ghetto, and every day we talk about logistical failures every day in here, and we have people running it like Kristi Noem, Cash App, who's the guy that got impeached under Biden? Who was just horrible. What was that?
Mayorkas?
My secretary, who should have been removed. I don't know why the Democrats didn't remove him. Mayorkas. These people are incompetent. We have to stop people. I speak for myself. I have stopped assuming competence from Americans. People that get up every day and put a bowl of cereal in front of their kids full of enough sugar that could put a gorilla in a diabetic coma. These are incompetent people. But they did a full background check, though, on everybody. Blocked it out on kayaks, and he's told me. Yeah.
I'm bothered. You can be in your panties if you want.
Yeah, you could be in your Ensure and your Neosporin, as well as your Tiger Balm.
I am.
Enjoy your Tiger Balm and them crusty ass heels.
Yeah, I am.
How that y'all would think
You'll be fine. Nobody was disagreeing with you.
No, it's not like disagreeing.
Our own anecdotal experiences, like you do often.
I actually don't do anecdotal experience often.
Oh, you do.
No, I don't.
You did. You just gave yours. And then you got mad because somebody said you didn't have snipers on the roof.
That doesn't mean often. I don't do them often.
You'll be fine. I'm not pushing them back against everything you say.
I'm surprised
there's too many people involved in government for everybody to be 100% confident. I don't think that's what they're arguing. No. I think they do know that there are people that are incompetent within government.
Well, it was also during the Obama era when someone jumped to the White House and made it to the front door. He even managed to take down a Secret Service agent while he was there. Do y'all remember that 2014 incident?
Yeah, I also remember the mother that was driving and she made a wrong turn and the Secret Service shot her in the head and killed her.
I put in the chat, sister. Georgia RK is not only this; he's not the CDC director. He's actually like kept in, like eighth in line for the presidency. That's what's going on.
Could you imagine?
Health and Human Services.
Well, that's why. But he might be a little further along because that department came later. But he's like actually in line for the presidency.
Like number 20. And the way shit's going these days when it comes to the government, they're just hiring anybody. It seems like under this administration, we've had problems within the government, whether it was Obama, whoever was in charge, whatever president we've had, we had problems with the hiring process. And even with the processes that's in place for like, not only clearances, it's just anything. So like, it happens. There's a failure within, I don't know, you're going to have failures.
You know, this is the administration, like the very first term. Do y'all remember, it might just be top of mind for me because of my background, that they decided they weren't going to publish the list of the who visits the White House?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then this administration, I think Ben was one of the ones that also called it out. Like they redefined what they considered media, and they called bloggers new media. That could be like regular, as long as they were sympathetic to the administration. Like, I mean, you know, the accounts of where they cut corners and what they do is countless. Like, my argument was never that they were competent.
So you know what they do now when it comes to the hiring process? In the military, there's a series of questions that have to be asked, and you have to answer it, and it has to do with loyalty. King Nav has a couple of contracts with the government. He'll probably tell you the same. There's questions that are asked. It has to be sent digitally, and they ask you, are you using ChatGPT? You have to say yes or no. This shit is weird. It's not regular fucking questions. The first time that I heard these questions, the guy told me, hey, they asked me about, and this is why. Like, we were like, what the fuck is going on here? This is just the basic dropping your fucking application. I think it's like 5 questions. I can't tell you what exactly the questions are. I mean, I know what the questions are, but it has to do with loyalty to the administration. This is a real thing going on right now.
Yeah, that's been a thing that I've had actually for a long time, but it's not loyalty to the administration per se, but it's loyalty to the military, it's loyalty to the chain of command.
I'm talking about the new questions that they're asking now, and then they actually ask you, you have to sign an affidavit saying that you didn't use ChatGPT.
Yeah, I know there's that DRP thing that came in, right? So a lot of people were forced out because of that, and they asked you that question before approving it, which was kind of stupid.
It's crazy, y'all really don't even know.
Did you lose a lot of people, by the way, for the DRP? Or no?
Yeah, we did, and that's why I'm working as an enlisted soldier as well as an officer.
Yeah, I wish they had issued more contracts for the people they lost, but that's a different story.
You can come up, ML. y'all really don't know how bad it is. I wish y'all could see from our side. And it's not secret, because any civilian can fucking go online, go to USA.gov. What is it? USAjobs.gov. That's the ones for the clearance.
Yeah.
Clearances
So,
for.
Patty, I'm doing something, so let me please have a break. Yes, so I've been served as a couple of people's reference for them, and even the reference people, they ask you a whole bunch of questions about the people. Yeah. That is unlawful. They're asking me, do I know that they're politically active, if they're saying anything anti, but look, I'm talking about positions that are like GS 14s and 15 positions. It was not even like SES positions. And they're asking, but one thing they have done is they've dumbed down the SES hiring process. It's a 2-page resume. They've gotten rid of the ECQs and stuff like that. You don't have to
it's a 2-page resume, bro. Y'all, it is a 2-page resume.
So any idiot, and some of them don't even have degree requirements. A buddy of mine told me, he goes, man, those SES
most of them don't have degree requirements.
Yes. So he said, they're making it sound, because I tell you what I said, you guys realize that when people talk about the government, I mean, a lot of people that I work with were like my last job when I worked in government was MIT, and all they went to really good schools. And you didn't just see, it wasn't really smart people who decided to make the government a career. And now they're saying that you get people from all walks of life, especially people who are just coming into the government, and they're not even remotely qualified. They don't know what they're doing, but they were hired. And some of those people are political appointees, so they'll all be gone by the time, because their schedules, they'll be gone, Schedule F, so they'll be gone by next year administration. But still, they're hiring a lot of their friends and cronies. So the federal government is going to be just populated with a whole bunch of Trump lawyers and MAGA. So it's kind of scary. They're weeding out everybody, and they're actually pushed out a lot of people.
Well, the only thing I'll say is, while they may be doing that for GS guys, man, they're shitting on the requirements for us contractors. Like, I'm looking at one right now. They're like, we want you to get us someone who's a PhD in electronics technology for U.S. Navy ship. I'm like, what the fuck? How am I going to find a PhD? So I'm like writing these emails saying, like, a PhD is a little bit high.
Well, you got an H-1B first.
They can't do that because they can get a secret. Yeah. No, but I mean, so for contractors, I mean, they're really shitting on us. I mean, they're really putting like insane requirements on us, and I don't know. I mean,
well, I heard they've gotten rid of a lot of the set asides. Or they're not honoring them.
Well, not exactly. So, like, what they did was there's something called the Revolutionary FAR. I don't want to take a lot of time on this, but because it's Patty's room. But there's something called the Revolutionary FAR, and basically, there used to be this thing where if you're in the 8A program and you have a contract that's in that program, once 8A, always 8A. You can never get it out. That program's always going to be set aside for 8A. So now they changed it, telling contracting officers, hey, use one of the other set asides, SDVOSB or WOSB, and pull it out. So they're kind of discouraging the 8A. And their claim is, which I heard this under the Biden administration, to be fair, and the Biden administration actually, I believe, went after them. I think you probably knew about this, Patty, but for the woman-owned certification, there was a guy in Virginia who bid on a DHS contract, huge contract, and I mean, I know the guy because I was supposed to get on his team, and basically changed his gender and was able to apply for the SBA certification and say it's in process. And the rule, the FAR at that time said if you were in process of the certification, you could get awarded, and then they could fast track it. And he was able to get it just because he was able to get his driver's license to say woman. And I told him directly, you're not a woman. He said, prove it. I was like, well, I mean, you said I know because you're living as a man. Yeah, but I decided to be a woman. And it's like, okay, well, so he ended up getting those kind of, so I think their view is, right or wrong, their view is we're eliminating, fraud on that. Also the 8A program, that's, I gotta be honest, like, it's a great program, but there need to be more controls in it. There's people who are like making their wife, like, okay, filing taxes separately from their wife or whatever, then registering the business in her name, and she's under a certain asset threshold, but they're really multimillionaires, but, and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Levine, everybody cheats.
Oh, yeah, no, I know
Everybody
that.
cheats.
I know that. So there was always talk from the SBA, even under the last administration, like the Biden administration, of regulating these. I think the way Trump did it is wrong with the revolutionary flower, but they had been talking about doing this for a long time. The interesting thing is SDVOSB is being pushed like crazy, service to service, which is why I told Patty, as soon as you get out, you let me know, we'll register your business, and we're bidding, you and I bidding together on everything. So, it's an important feature, and so I'm getting screwed because I'm just a small disadvantaged business. So
Elaine, so you no longer 8A because you've been in there for a while. You should have aged out by now.
Actually, I never got 8A because my dad made too much money. Yeah, my dad made too much money.
His dad actually had contracts with the government before.
Oh, I see. I thought you were on. Yeah. Well, you could apply by yourself. Well, now you already make too much money, so you can't no longer do that. But the thing about it, like 8A, I mean, people aged out, and there's also a money threshold. When you reach an asset threshold, you also fast track out of AA. But the thing about it is that, I mean, I know of a lot of minority businesses of Active Gap, they start as 8A and Active Gordon 3 Active really big businesses. So I know a lot of white guys who put their wives on as part of the ownership. And that's why most people
talk about this. Hold on real quick. So we can talk about this separately. Y'all, Nav is a real person, and those stories are real. I know Nav. That's why sometimes when y'all attack him, I like chill. Okay? It may not sound like a real story. You say you know him, no, you don't know him. I do.
Thanks, Patty.
Yeah, now it's real. I mean,
he's real. He's
talking about contracts for like years. Yeah.
He's real. His family is in the government. His father started in the 90s. He's real. He has a lot more money than everybody on this most of these people on this goddamn app, to be honest. He talking about his small business. I don't know about his goddamn small business. But he has more money than probably most of us on this stage put together.
Hey,
$1
Hey, Tina. I always knew I liked you.
He's looking for an investor. And I'm sorry, but I just had to say that because it's like people are saying that I know him and this story doesn't sound real. Yeah, y'all really don't know now. I know him.
Thanks, buddy. And First Lady, sorry to derail the room on talking about government contracts. We should do another room to talk about that at some point. That'd be great.
Yeah, this is not something we can really talk about in here because it's not. They're not versed on 8A or.
I wasn't even reading the.
Honestly, Lizzie stays on mute, but she knows a lot about these goddamn contracts as well.
Yeah, and First Lady, if we can bid together, send me a message. I'd love to. We can talk later.
Okay, man. Y'all seen that? That real. This girl was on a dance in the movies, and the guy got her like some popcorn and a hot dog or something. And she said, "Oh, he got money."
I ain't even got a Hermes cookie. You know what my mom bought me though? I'm gonna send it. You know what my mom bought me her and my dad went to Europe. They bought never mind, I shouldn't.
They bought your Hermes scarf?
No. The Louis Vuitton chocolate bag.
Oh, okay.
It's cute. It's not expensive.
Did you eat it?
No.
You keeping it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna I don't know.
It's cute. But it's kind of the handle's broken because of I guess handling.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping.
Well, you got First Lady all excited. You said Hermes and Louis Vuitton, and First Lady popped up. Oh, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. I just
somebody buy it for me, but I buy it myself. All the others I can get for myself. Thank you very much.
But so, King, now one question before we go on in the contract. I haven't looked at it, but I just heard that even the RFP and RFI process is different now. Is that true?
For DOD, it's kind of the same, but Lota passed this bill. You should look at it. It's called Simplified Language in Contracts.
Yeah, that's what I heard about. Yeah.
He keeps touting it. I mean, it's fucking shit. I told him it directly, dude, this is like shit. You're trying to donate and raise money out of it. You didn't really do a good job. But basically, they're trying to simplify it, saying okay, let's put in all the clauses and stuff, and nobody's adhering to it. They're just adding amendments and saying hey, read amendment this one. So the main documents are smaller, but there's 40 more amendments. So you didn't really do shit on it, but whatever.
So, King, now for the sake of the room, because there are many of us who don't know these things, what's DOD?
Oh, Department of Defense, or now called Department of War.
Thank you.
But the legal name is still Department of Defense.
Well, actually,
all these acronyms, those of us who are not bureaucrats, we don't know this shit.
We're acronym kings.
We don't know. Y'all just be speaking weird language. Let me tell you. It's hard sometimes when y'all be Z3 and GB24, BZTS, and all that other shit. Y'all gotta break this shit down for us because we don't be knowing.
But now that you ask like that, I'm sure they'll be willing to do so. Go ahead now.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Hurricane. If you don't know about the B13 classified, okay, G14 classified, then you should have to be more researched. This is classified B613 paperwork.
Sounds like a shot.
This is 14159.
DOW is actually the real name. If you I had this big lesson when I went to Mayport, Florida, and I sat down with the commander of the base, and we were talking, and then I said, it's you gonna model the contracts to put in the alias DOW, and he just kept looking at me like the Constitution talks about Department of War, Department of Defense is an alias, and I said, so why is everything called DOW?
Told you that?
I know, that's what he said. So I was like, oh, okay. He's like, that's why we called that. And I was like, okay. He's like, the alias is
Or the Constitution. Who said that?
That's what a commander told me.
So this is what's going on within our community, within the Department of Defense. You have some that's going to go by what they swore to, the oath that they took. And you have some that are on this, the name is Department of War, and they will come up with these ridiculous, but with King Nab, if it's about money and he says, hey, I want the header to say Department of War, it's going to say Department of War. I can tell you this, I don't know too many 4-stars that's going to go with, if it's legal paperwork, they want to see the DOD on the top.
I got one or two changed. I got one or two of my contracts in Mayport got changed to say.
No, the contracts will. And the reason why the contracts will is because how the president has his foot on next. But when we're doing legal paperwork where we have to send it to our damn TDS, or even TDS is not Trump. It's branch in our JAG court. But if we have to send it to TDS or even to JAG, we have to when we put the package together, our package with our memorandum will say Department of Defense. But yeah, it's gonna reflect whatever that command wants to be said based off of the administration. And a lot of those contracts, I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't seen too many contracts where the people haven't used the word war. And that's to get influence, I guess. I don't know.
It's also to get money, because a lot of commands are begging Hegseth and calling him every day, hey, give me money, and then we have these things to fund. It's like, so I'm sure they're calling saying, I'm calling from Department of War, whatever. Oh, okay, yeah, sure, I'll talk. I'm calling from DOD. Forget about it. I'm not taking their call. It's like, all right.
But Hegseth does know that when we file it, it has to say DOD. And then, but you're right. I think it's a play.
I'm sorry, First Lady. I know you vouched for Brother King, but until Trent comes in here and acknowledges that this is one of his informants, I just can't trust either one of you. We go with Trent's word around here.
Oh, he'll vouch for him. He'll vouch for him. It's like, I don't know. All right, so, any updates on this guy? Did they turn him loose? I mean, the charges didn't sound like they were that big, did they? Like, what the charges that they charging him with? Can he be there for a long period of time?
Oh, yeah, that's treason. He's gonna get some charges up there. He ain't coming out.
Not if he's a...
I would have forced him to kill me. If I'm that brave to do some shit like that, I would have popped the pill in my mouth and pulled a fucking, I would have popped something in my mouth to die on. I'm not going to do that. You got to be crazy. He already sent out a manifesto, if that's his manifesto. But they would have had to shoot me dead, or I would have popped the pill in my mouth. As soon as y'all would have been undressing me, I would have popped a arsenic pill or some shit.
Patty, can you say stuff like that?
No, that's the truth, though. I can say that. Why, if you're doing something that's stupid, go ahead and just die.
What facility? I'm sorry, guys. I've been moving around, so I haven't had a chance to read, but I do have some questions. And peace to the space. Happy Sunday. So how many weapons did he have? I just heard he had two weapons. Is that right?
That's all that was in the report so far as on how many he purchased.
And in terms of layout, so he went past. Are there layers? Like, how did he get this close? Yeah.
He was in the lobby. It was in the lobby.
But before the lobby, like, there's no outer, like.
No.
Just, okay.
Right. Just like hours of going back and forth.
Okay, cool. So then I'll just do my homework on that. Okay, thank you. Peace to the space again.
Peace and blessings, brother. Good to see you. Glad you're in the number. Amen. One more time.
Oh, Lord. And to the military people, the men that stormed the stage, right? Like, I saw clips of these guys walking through with the guns, right? Where people were sitting. And I'm from New York. They looked extremely amateur. Like, there was just something comical about the way these guys moved about. I don't know how to put my finger on it yet. But the ones that went on the stage to get the president, they had on equipment, right? So can anyone break down what that equipment was? It looked like a parachute. I know it wasn't. But, like, where did those guys come from, and what part of the military were they, and what they were wearing with all of that type of gear? Can anybody talk about the equipment that they were wearing when they went on stage? Because it seemed like they were like ready to jump out of an airplane. I'm no expert on these things, so can somebody just talk about that?
I gotta look at the picture again. Let me see if I can Google it.
Yeah, when they went over to the first, they moved Hextech out, and then I don't know, it seems like he didn't know how to get out of a chair for some reason. That's a whole nother story. And then they moved towards the president who fell. I just realized that was him falling. Again, I'm seeing different clips. I'm going to piece this shit together once I get settled later. But yeah, I was wondering who those paratrooper, like, I don't know what their uniforms were, they had a lot of shit on. And just the way they...
You talking about the all black with the black rifles?
No, they had on green. They had on all green.
I don't see
green. Yeah. Look, I'm gonna see if I can find a clip. But I was wondering if a military expert can tell us what they were wearing, where the hell they came from. That fast, wearing all of that. Somebody said they were stormtroopers. Okay, Okay, so stormtroopers were on the perimeter and they came in. I thought Secret Service handled that kind of thing. I got to see the whole protocol. Pardon me, y'all. You know, I like to look into things, but I haven't had a chance. I was just hoping I could get some quick answers as I sit here. Wait,
Those are all Secret Service. This is still Secret Service. It's not military. I'm just trying to look up what they had on. They're not military.
Mine said Ninja Turtles. Exactly. They look like Ninja Turtles. Very good, accurate description.
Where were they?
It's the clip where they go towards the president. They wearing all green. They just got a lot of shit on, like canteens and backpacks, a lot of shit they had on. Let me go to CNN, IG.
And they was moving way too slow. They got Vance up out of there, and then everybody was tripping over Trump. You got Melania going under the table. They look like they never did an emergency evacuation drill ever.
Yeah, you know what? The ones that were green is quote unquote like their own form of special forces. So.
Yeah, I believe it's staged, but I hope it was real. Only because we're already such a laughing stock. Like, that shit is fucking embarrassing. Having the president trip like 3 times trying to get out. That shit, it just looks so sloppy. I don't know what videos y'all watch. Y'all must got some.
And not to mention the person that was killed in the process.
Who got killed? Nobody died. That was fake news shared.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, some journalists was they just wanted to be first, and they were saying the wrong shit.
Somebody said something. Yeah, I don't know what video. Maybe I need to keep looking. I'm looking at the video.
No, I did see the stormtroopers.
I just posted the clips, the CNN clip that came from their page. I didn't vet it, but it's from CNN. So I don't know. Maybe I was a little tipsy last night, but okay. I'll try to get another viewpoint. But that was. So he's for a guy. I don't know what the hell was going on in the clip. You guys got to understand, like, you know, you're in car miles, you're chilling out, you look at
what is happening? I don't understand.
Well, I'm just sharing what my experience was when I first saw what was going down. That's all. So, nothing.
And I saw 2 angles. I saw the one from like where everybody was sitting at the table, so like the stage is front and center. And then I saw one that was like from backstage from the side, and that camera person was way too calm. The camera wasn't moving, they wasn't running or nothing. They literally just honed in on JD. You see JD run, and then you see Trump fall on the other side. So how you ready with the cameras like?
I don't know. It's a correspondence dinner. I mean, those people, I don't know. They are the press. I don't know why they wouldn't be. Is there a restriction?
But wouldn't you be like nervous that there's an active shooter, and if you have your phone out, like
some didn't know that it was an active shooter. Some thought
that's true. They did say it was broken plates and stuff.
Yeah, Trump said it.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, Trump said it himself. He was like, "Oh, I just thought, way to drop some plates or whatever." Because that's what I was saying at first. I said, "Oh, it's just nothing. It's nothing. It's just plates." Because that's how they were making it sound. And then it was like, "No, we actually have." There was a lot of shootings, and then Caitlyn gets on there, and shortly after, it was like, somebody is dead. The shooter is dead. I was like, huh?
Yeah. A message lady sent me.
Caitlyn was supposed to get her journalism. They need to
talk about dinner. I was like, what are you talking about? You see what happened at dinner? I was like, what happened at your dinner? What we to dinner. Silly. He was like, oh, that dinner. Read your question. Did you see what happened at dinner? I said, damn, did we have dinner together? What's going on? Was somebody else? I was confused.
Was definitely having dinner. I looked up at the TV and I'm like, wait a minute. Like the shit was just so unbelievable. Having a great evening. I looked up, I see what I thought was a naked man laying on the floor. But then when I got closer to the TV, I saw, I thought it was a white guy. And then later examination, I'm like, oh, he looks like he got a little kink in his hair and he looks like a really a black man. So it was just like,
don't do that.
So
that's a white.
Oh, okay, there we go. That's what I want to hear. That's
another Luigi Mangione. He got
that's
that
what I want to hear.
Italian.
Thank you. That's what I want to hear.
That's a black man, y'all. That is a black man.
He got some kink in his hair.
That is a black man with a Caltech education.
He got some kink in his head too. I saw, I blew it up afterwards, but where I was, it just looked like he looked extremely light. And
y'all need to stop gatekeeping blackness.
I was disappointed, when I looked at it close. I'm like, fuck, he looked like he could be from the DeBarge or one of them. Like, he just looked, oh, man.
I don't know, because they say Kamala ain't black.
Oh, you're right. They say Kamala ain't black, so I guess.
Mm-hmm. And you just ready to give everybody a black card. Stop it right now. I rebuke that.
Oh, he's black. Kamala's black. He's black. They black.
That's a Sicilian Italian.
While we're at it, some of y'all blacks need to be kicked out. How about that?
Starting with you. Let's go.
I'm Nigerian. I'm original.
We talking about race.
Yeah, I'm Nigerian. I'm original. You can't kick me up if I kick you out.
No.
I'm black. I have African blood and I have Black American blood. I mean, some Asian in there. I'm blackity black.
Well, my blood is red, so thank you, Rainbow.
I agree. Yeah, I'm with you. My blood's red too.
So, is this a distraction from the Iranian war? Or
that's what people are saying, but I don't even want to believe that, y'all. I know the motherfucker's sick. I think he's demonic. I really don't want to believe that. I don't.
No. I'm not saying that it was staged or anything. I'm just saying, are we now focused on this? Have we gone back to the Iran war?
I think it's staged.
Well, I'm not saying that.
I don't want to say that. But you know what, though? It could have been. We look at this person. Yeah.
There was a lot of people saying that they weren't going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Don Lemon because of the Don Lemon and Georgia Ford situation too, because they actively have cases against them for just being journalists. So there was a lot of pushback. A lot of people saying we shouldn't even go. We shouldn't even support this. How are we going to go to the Correspondents' Dinner when we have a president who's actively going against the press every day? So there was a lot of people saying that they wasn't tuning in. They weren't going to watch it. Nobody gave a fuck. And then a stage shooting happens and then everybody tunes in. I wasn't watching it. I was off here on Clubhouse listening. And then First Lady was like, what?
Nah, I be watching that. When Lady hit me up, I be watching that. I ain't gonna front. I watch the White House Correspondents' Dinner because I think it's funny.
If I was home, I definitely would have been watching it. Absolutely. Because he made, I remember him saying, you gotta watch, it's gonna be really big. And I remember a big deal being made off the fact that he was going to actually participate this year, despite his bad experiences in the past when he was roasted a certain way. So that's why I wanted to look at it. And the illusionist or mentalist, whatever they call it.
I'm going into the matrix. Joey wrote it in the chat, Kiana. That's how I found out about it. Go ahead.
perform? Did the Mentalist or Illusionist, did he perform?
No.
Oh, they didn't get that far.
They were only at the appetizers. They was only there for 30 minutes.
Yeah. And then they said we'll be right back.
Yeah, this is like I wonder how they convinced that actor on the roof for that other assassination attempt. Yeah, I was in Canada when that happened. I'll never forget that. But I wonder how they can. Man, I'm so curious. I wish I was a freaking investigative reporter, man.
Did I say the Mentalist?
What did they call it? Entertainment? Was he a mental? Like, what did they call him? A mind? I don't know.
But personally, I think you might be right because he inspired the show.
Right, but the guy goes and guess what people are thinking, right? I don't know what that's called. They described him as a magician, but when I saw, backstory. What is his name?
I think it's Mentalist. It's something. It's Mentalist.
Yeah, he gets shit that we thinking and writes it down. And I don't know who it was, but I think it was Snoop or somebody. And he actually crossed out the first thing they were going to say, and then he put what they actually said. So the people seemed genuinely surprised by his ability to do that. So, yeah. So, but
yeah, I think that and it's also weird because apparently he was delivering a note to, apparently backstage there was something with Carolyn Levitt where he was trying to guess her kid's name or something, and then he came on stage and shared it, and then that's the exact moment when they came over and said, hey, there's a shooter or whatever, and I was like, wow, that's weird.
So he didn't predict this. He didn't anticipate that someone would. He didn't get no energy that this shit was gonna happen. I don't know.
Did y'all see that? Something just. I don't know. What is this about the guy?
He looks like his head is gonna explode. Every time he just looks like he's like in a cartoon. Just like he's gonna get so angry and red, his fucking head is just gonna explode. That's what he looks like. And then he proceeded to practically pull out Trump's penis and like get on his knees and commit fellatio. Like, what was that about?
He was high.
Yeah.
Do you remember Teen Mom back in the day with Kiefer and Janelle and Mama Barbara come out? High, you're all high. They're high.
Do y'all remember Bronx Tale? Wasted Talent?
Yes.
He's wasted talent.
Mr. I'm not an alcoholic when I'm at work. It's wild. Like, I listen to his TV's like.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If you work directly for this administration, you ain't gonna turn into an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So I don't know about alcoholic, but I'll probably turn it. I don't know. I'm fucking screaming. Yes, like, I don't know. I can't stand Cash Patel at this point, but did you hear the president, when he talks about how the president protects the country, he's the like, bro, I've never heard so much. It's like they put together, this shit is weird.
It's gangster shit.
That's a man trying to keep his job.
Yeah.
He chops bodies up and fucking leaves a hand. Like, they can't even find a whole body of the fucking journalist. Like, they don't even do this shit for MBS.
I think Trump behind closed doors be sucking the fuck out of them. I think behind closed doors he just shuns the fuck out of them. But we see this kind of blind loyalty, and I've said this before. I think this administration is run like an organized crime syndicate where loyalty is value, and he's used terms like "don't rat," things of that nature. And I think when you deal with these guys, these particular group of men, like, what it's like to be around somebody that will just like bully the fuck out of them. He just does that to them, and they fold. It's the weirdest thing. I can't. Like, how does a man cower to another man like that?
Eating pussy.
That shit is just wild, OD.
I felt that too. I thought his jaw
jaw gotta be hurting after all of that dick slurping he was doing last night. I cannot with Cash Patel. He really needs to go somewhere. He really needs to just fall over, go on another bender, and just fall over somewhere, please.
I get nauseous when I'm
So some people, you know, I don't know. It's one of those things. You know, you got a boss. You know, the boss is a little out there, and I think they feel like they need to protect him. I think you had a young man earlier this week. He came in and he was like, the more y'all talk about him, the more I love him. Like, I think these people are at that point where they feel as though they need to protect him at all costs. It comes across as ding-a-linging, licking, or whatever you guys call it. But to them, it's just them thinking that they are being a loyalist to him. So, yeah.
But they be going too far.
Very far.
Yeah. I mean,
Tucker Carlson, all of the right-wing podcast bros, they was all saying like, damn, I'm responsible for this shit. I helped him get elected. And now it's going to be like, oh, damn, they tried to kill him again. And that's how he's reeling in his base. And that's how I think it's a fucking stage. I still think the whole shit was staged. And I'm going to say that until that word. It's undisputable that it was.
I think Bada want to play.
yeah. Click that link if you can.
I ain't clicking that. That's a Facebook link. Yeah, that's how the shit be hearing me when you say click this.
Yeah, the Facebook, that shit is like a red flag. No disrespect to your source at all, but yeah, Facebook spooks me out. Yeah, all my old friends are on there, like from back in the days, and
You can play it. You can play it. But if you say click this link, that shit take me back. I be like, fuck that.
Fuck up your whole algorithm, man, after that one click.
Go ahead, Butterbean. Where's she at? Did she come up?
Butter.
Yes, I'm here, but don't know if.
Okay, so this is what you do. You're gonna read after the top.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna see something that says audio quality. Click on audio quality and go to music. Click on your own link and play it. Stay off mute. We can hear it.
Okay. And one more thing,
Just make sure you're in music mode.
It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it. That was Carolyn Levitt being interviewed before the dinner started.
Wow.
She slipped at the top and said,
It's giving state. Let me just say this. Trump said his speech that he had prepared was going to be really rough. So perhaps Carolyn knew what was in that speech and was saying, he was going to be letting some people, get it. You know what I mean? I agree with that because everybody knows that dinner is a roast. So it would be shots fired. It's an opportunity for them to go back and forth. So I don't know if that's the smoking gun. No pun intended. Why are we using that type of
the language given the past 2 assassination attempts, and then we know Erica Kirk, a widow of somebody who was just shots fired in the neck, is going to be there. Why are we using that type of language as American government anyway? Like, it's just, it shouldn't have been said, period. And now it's giving fodder to the people like me who assume that this was a stage.
So I'm not gonna dismiss y'all concerns or y'all theories and whatever, right? The only thing, I ain't lady, but I'll tell you this: I can think somebody's demonic, but to be this demonic, that's a whole nother problem. And if you're staging this type of shit and putting other people's lives in danger, there's no place for you even in hell. So I just want to believe that this was an attempt. I want to believe that.
Well, Patty, if y'all thought that clip was good enough, maybe you might have heard this one from Fox News. When someone started saying something along those lines, and Fox News just cut it off immediately. If you haven't heard it, I can play it.
Please play it.
Okay. Listen to this.
I want to just quickly tell you, I was sitting next to Caroline Levitt, the press secretary's husband. He was one of our guests. He was seated right next to me, and right as the dinner was starting, the national anthem happened, and then he kind of leaned over and said, Watchtower TV did a great job. You need to be very safe. And he was very serious when he said that to me. And he kind of looked around the room and he said, there are some.
They cut him off there. Just wait.
Sounds like we lost Aisha's phone there. And this happens, by the way, especially when you have too many people attempting to utilize the same cell service at the same time. I did want to add this. While we had a moment, I was just reading.
I'm not pressing that. When you're using the cell service at the same. What? I don't understand.
Now we need an explanation for why calls drop. That's it's giving.
But they were saying right after it happened yesterday, when they were interviewing reporters that were on site, they were all saying that it was the connections was tough because I guess they do some kind of like blockage, I guess, of the service signal inside the building.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
You know whose signal was fine? Wolf Blitzer. He was on phone CNN the whole time.
Yeah, but it makes sense that they do. He might have had a satellite phone. But to be honest with you, it makes sense because if something occurred, a lot of times within the government, they do try to cut off signal so that they can get a proper assessment before people go into family.
Yeah, but they don't do like some kind of a search for weaponry in a way that they don't like. They're at the White House dinner, and they don't have a process or protocol to make sure that no one has weapons. Or do they? It's just a question.
Sweetheart, you about to open a whole nother can of worms. And we have massage and
we just got out of there. And it doesn't deserve really a response then, but some thought. Like, it's too many things lining up for this to be real. We gotta stop this stuff.
We gotta stop saying things on the road. Because then you sound just as crazy as some of the wackadoos that said COVID wasn't real on the other side. Butler was a real event. A person died. The president, Trump, was nearly killed. If he doesn't turn his head, he's not president. And the assailant in that was fine. Not somebody. Yeah, I get it. But there was a man who died from a real and the Senate was willing to kill either Trump or Biden. So it's our first to put up this is somebody we want to put up as a
look at God.
You see how God works?
Unfortunately, let me finish.
Unfortunately,
You're in the matrix. We can't hear whatever you're saying. Mute up.
I'm on the border. Okay, real quick. Unfortunately, all three of these events.
We can hear you, Trent.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
No.
Yeah. Unfortunately, all three of these events are likely real. You've got a president that is insanely unpopular, who people do believe, and who has done things that are far outside the norm, and they believe he is breaking the Constitution. The hatred of this president in polling is off the charts. It's not just disapproval; it's vehement despising of the. It's not without the stretch of imagination. All presidents are vulnerable, but it is not without the stretch of imagination that this is taking place when we have the level of victim that we have in a lot of spaces.
So Trent, I didn't like Bush, right? I wrote extensively about both Bushes actually. This term that you use, hate. What if we just switch that out and just say a lot of people are dissatisfied with his performance, his character? Maybe human beings are just maybe they're just dissatisfied with him and who he's shown us to be. His decision making, his self-grandizing, his malignant narcissistic tendency. Like, so, you guys always try to use this word hate to simplify that human beings are reacting to another human being. Let me finish. Just because they hate. Don't you think that, and this is on both sides of the aisle, right? Citizens-wise, not politician-wise. People are just dissatisfied and disappointed with him and see him as a bad guy for this role, bad person. That occur to you, Trent?
Maybe when you say you guys, it sounds stupid because I'm not on either side.
Well, you just said people hate, so yeah.
Yeah, well, the president is.
Damn. Yeah.
That's self-service.
I've seen before. And so that is why
we didn't hear your comment. Your mobile ain't mobiling.
Yeah, you're probably listening to me when I go over it. I might have to wait till I get closer to Corpus Christi. But the president, to your point, is a malignant narcissist, and his disapproval is off the charts, and it's earned. And there was an attempt on Bush's life, as well as the second Bush. There was an assassination attempt on his life. So it's not like it's just the world we live in, and I think it's, especially to the family in Butler, I think it's terrible to say that was fake when they lost their father and their husband.
Well, we didn't say it was fake. It was MAGA people that are starting to question how real it was. It was a former MAGA congresswoman who started amplifying the fact that Butler could have been a fake.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. And when I say that it's fake, I mean that, like, there's collusion between the Trump administration and the shooter. So yeah, the bullets were real and somebody really died. But, like, was that a threat that came out of nowhere? Probably. I think that the Trump administration colluded with them, hired some to stage this event, and the person that died for real was just in the wrong time. It's sad to say. But yeah, that man that protected his daughters and wife or whatever and was killed, it comes with the territory of going to one of them MAGA rallies. And you know who else would say that? Charlie motherfucking.
Yeah, the other thing is, the one person that was at that event, who was supposed to be the lead agent protecting the president, when he got maybe a school or a head of a division, he ended up taking over the entire agency with no prior experience at the executive level.
And he was there last night. They're saying the same Secret Service agent that was right next to Trump in the photo with his fist up was also there last night. What if
Yeah, but that like, I mean, he's the director. He should be there. Like, that's not much of a big deal. All I'm saying is the fact that, he jumped from, it's like, let me use an example. I mean, you promote some random individual from the store clerk to take over all of Walmart. That's literally what just happened. Or maybe a lead supervisor, actually. Supervisor. And you take them from supervisor, rather than go put them in some kind of a management of maybe a division or something like that. You say, as a matter of fact, you're going to lead the entire operation altogether. Now, I get it. It's Donald Trump. He does things differently compared to other leaders and all that, right? But if I were a normal human being, I'd question that.
So, one thing that's just to get out of the conspiracy land for a second. One thing that's odd to me is that there are countless attempts, arrests, surveillance of people who want to do harm to high-ranking public officials, from the president down to cabinet members to Congress leaders, right? My question becomes, why are these getting so close in such ghetto way?
That's a very good question.
Ghetto ways. Well, let me just say one thing real quick.
Answer the question before you say anything else. He asked the question on stage.
Yeah, I don't think they're getaways. The Butler, to say Butler was staged, that bullet was centimeters from ending the president's life. So, that's not something that you stage. You don't say, "Hey man, I just want you to graze my ear." Like, that's not realistic. I think we're having. I think a lot of these are
like Matrix. No, maybe you might answer the question. Went on mute for a little bit. Trent just took over. So go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was just saying, take the conspiracy theories, stage, all that stuff away. Just as everything's real, things real. I'm just trying to understand why the security is so bad. Obama, Trump, Bush, all of them, the security's terrible. The Obama, Trump, Bush, all of them, Trump first term, they get countless of these. The Senate Majority Leader gets countless of these. How some dudes show up at a hotel, it's just again rank incompetence. And when you surround yourself with incompetent people because you want to get political payback and own the libs, this seems to be the kinds of outcomes you're going to get. It's just very bizarre to me how the guy in Butler gets promoted to the head of the Secret Service. It's very strange.
Yep. Name landed 2 feet from President Bush. I mean, like, it's
You're
not.
only repeating yourself. You're not listening.
What landed 2 feet from President Bush?
Like a live grenade landed 2 feet from President Bush. It was a foreign trip. But I don't think that these.
So it was a foreign trip. So that would be different.
Yeah, it is a little different. But I don't think that these attacks have been ghetto. I think they've actually been, in some cases, been well thought out.
You didn't understand what he meant by it looking like ghetto? Like, God damn it, bro.
Yeah, right. Well thought out, sir. So check this out, right? So I've done quite a few events in my life.
Rambo, come on.
When we do, chill out. When we do events, one of the things we talk about is security, layout, this, that, and the third. Like, it's a simple conversation. We don't have any high value targets or anything like that. But you generally look at a plan, a floor plan, and you talk about the logistics. You have these basic fucking conversations. How does he even get this fucking close? There should be perimeters and layers there for him to get this close to be in this proximity. It's odd to me, and it's just extremely odd with all of the resources around and the history and how many people don't like this man. Something just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
All right, so your question, Ben. When Bush was on a foreign trip, he got attacked and all stuff came close to him. He didn't take the lead agent. No, hold on.
I didn't have a question about Bush.
I know. What I was trying to say is he didn't promote the guy that was his lead agent there to take over the agency. When someone came close to the White House during the Obama era, Obama didn't take whoever was the lead agent at the time and promoted them. So yes, it's very weird. I have never seen this happen anywhere. Well, I'm lying, actually. I have seen it happen in Africa where a fake coup happened, then the president decided to make a buddy of his the head of the army or the head of the defense forces. That's about it.
I didn't get that close, in my opinion. The one on the golf was both the butler and the golf course were did the rights. This guy didn't get that close.
He wasn't after Trump. You forgot that part?
After Trump. His manifesto basically says he was after Trump. It's pretty clear.
It said it. No, it did not.
It says he's after a pedophile.
Not the one that I heard Matt read. It said that he was after the administration portion of it. The other people, not Trump. And not Patel. Go ahead.
But it also goes led by a pedophile ring or whatever it says. I mean, I'm driving, I can't read it. But it is blatantly towards, yes, the entire administration, but blatantly towards Trump, yes.
Well, I asked last night, where's Anthony Fauci? Huh? Doesn't speak.
I was wondering why you asked that question. You asked and never said anything and then just disappeared.
Clearly, Anthony Fauci is doing all this. I mean, look, people say that conspiracy theories on the left are dumb, but we've been living with right-wing conspiracy theories for decades now. This can't be. So this is the logic I love in people who are against the conspiracy theories. So this has to be real, but 9/11 definitely could have been faked. This one has to be real. This one has to be real. But a worldwide pandemic where people literally saw their loved ones being choked out, that's fake. It's kind of all over the place. Hold on, door. Go ahead. Yeah, you can play it in the hallway, brother. Unlimited audience in the hallway. You can scroll up and down, play your mixtape there, brother. It's really that simple. But if you're a conspiracy theory dabbler, like me and y'all dabble in butt play, you have to let other people dabble. You can't just dabble and dibble and dabble when nobody's looking and have your woman put her finger in your butt and then act like you're the straightest man on earth when 2 hours ago you was hitting a missionary and she had 2 fingers in your butt. You gotta let people put fingers in their butt. Huh?
So you're a nasty man.
I'm not nasty. No, it's not. It's the same principle. I use these metaphors on purpose because that's the only way dumb people understand things, through anecdote and metaphor. And you all are dumb. I'm almost done. And you all are dumb. And so you can't act like. I mean, look. You can't act like, oh well, the vaccine. If you y'all remember the vaccine conspiracy theories with 5G and your phone, and the COVID conspiracy theories, or the Trump election conspiracy theory? You can't be an election conspiracy theorist and say there was bamboo. These are my favorite ones. There was bamboo on some of the ballots, and so therefore it came from China. And then when something else happens on the other side, you have to believe everything. If people want some fingers in their butt, you got them in yours. So if you're allowed to have a finger in your butt and not be gay, so is Trent. That's why I have to use the metaphors, because you people don't learn otherwise. You don't read. Now, if we go around and say it was the last book anybody here read, from cover to cover, and maybe about 5 of us in here could answer. Your brains aren't sharp. Many of you couldn't get through high school now if you took your current intellectual standing and started in 9th grade, and all things being equal, many of you would have to be held back for at least a year. It's very true. A couple of years. So that's why I have to use those metaphors, because that's the only way dumb people can understand. That anecdote are the only way dumb people like you all will understand that. So I'll end here. If you can have your woman put her finger in your butt with them long clawed nails, she's scratching all on the walls of your butt with them nails, them nasty nails of the black woman, and you're not gay, Drake can do the same thing. It's really that simple. I'm done. I bet y'all understand now. Wow.
Hey, Roger, boo. Look what you came in on.
Yeah. Can I say this? Just let me say one thing while I got some signal. I don't think COVID was a conspiracy. I hate 9/11 conspiracy theories. They're the worst thing. My only conspiracy, which is now proving accurate, is aliens. It's the only one that I've been like, hey, this is real. But most conspiracies aren't grounded when you vet them out. Like, I'm not saying that it's not a possibility that any of these things, and actually especially wouldn't put it past the Trump administration, but the actors in these situations don't seem to go along with conspiracy, except this one. This one, I'll give it to you. Not the guy. I mean, he's like, if you were to put up somebody and try to frame somebody, this would be the guy, especially the manner in which it happened. But the other two, no, those were dead to rights.
Okay, I got a question. Ben, did you say there was bamboo? There was a conspiracy about bamboo being in the ballot boxes? I just want to ask.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Clearly, I'm not up to date with conspiracies. I used to think I did.
They cut the light out. They cut off the video cameras in Atlanta and Fulton County. There's a whole bunch of conspiracy people because they've never been around elections. And to Ben's point, because we have an uneducated populace who doesn't understand how things work, anytime you say anything complicated, they run off with their conspiracy. Like not understanding how many thousands of pounds of take to put throughout the most two secure buildings in the world, and somebody flying planes expertly right above them so they didn't explode on impact. It's fucking ridiculous.
First Lady. She's not here.
Actually, I won't post it, but you can just Google it. Do bamboo. I just see a bunch of. I just don't want to post anything. Bamboo conspiracy theory 2020. There's all kinds of conspiracy theories. China was using satellites to change votes. Y'all remember these? They was using satellites to change votes. It was a smartmatic, all kinds of stuff. So again, if people are allowed to have their COVID, they shut down the election for Trump to lose, all stuff. Excuse me, all this kind of stuff. If people are allowed to have that one, other people are allowed to have theirs. And that's one of the things that's really unfair about America. If you're on the right, you're allowed that. Shall we forget QAnon? You had people, Donald Trump was going to pick JFK Jr. as his vice president and showed up at an election thinking he was going to come.
Well, Arizona Republicans for bamboo-laced China ballots. That's funny. Oh my God, America.
This is
they were in Dallas, in Daly Plaza, waiting on JFK Jr. to show up. True fucking story.
True story, yeah. He died, what, 20 years ago? He was killed in that plane crash, what, 20 years ago? So again, I'm not with the conspiracy theories, but we gotta allow people, y'all on the right gotta allow people to have it on the left, and now you leftists gotta allow people on the right. A large portion of being a MAGA person is it's all conspiratorial. A lot of it is conspiratorial. Kash Patel said the director of the FBI has full control over the Epstein client list. He's now the director of the FBI and hasn't released the client list. Alex Jones, y'all listen to Alex Jones, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Donald Trump, etc., etc. If people have Brandy said earlier, God bless Brandy, she said it's odd people think this is staged. How would this be odd? We're in America. Many of y'all believe a man walked on water. How's it odd? How could this be odd when you have Christians and Jews, Muslims? Muslims believe that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, split the moon in half.
Don't forget Tupac and Biggie.
Then y'all believe that Moses split the Red Sea. Moses didn't even exist. And some of y'all believe that. So how can they believe this? I love it. This can't be real. But Moses split a sea in half with a staff that he threw down that was really his brothers, and a bunch of men swallowed up his enchantment.
Amen.
And they all lived 500 to 1,000 years.
Right. And the earth, and many of them believe that the earth is 6,000 years old. Some of y'all got gas in the car that wouldn't be there from 6,000 years ago. There you go.
By the way, I have so for yesterday's press conference, Ben, that I was telling you guys about, I have the portion, I forwarded it to that, where the Secret Service director speaks. Just listen to this man and tell me if he is Director Caliban and how weird this is. Play it.
The FBI currently has our working. Thank you.
So that was the FBI person.
Thank you. My name is Sean Kern, the Director of the Secret Service. Tonight, we saw exactly what our brave men and women do each and every day to protect these. It's not easy, and I will tell you that they performed admirably. We got to see what they do, and that individual, when he charged a checkpoint, was apprehended. This shows that our multi-layered protection works, and I'm grateful to our partners that help assist us with building these sites and protecting these sites.
There's a type of life insurance most people over 30 have never heard, and it pays you while you're.
I'm very fortunate that this officer is alive, is being observed, and I'm grateful that the president reached out to this officer and spoke to him earlier. I ask everybody to pray for him and all of our officers and agents that were involved. And I will tell you, we will continue with the mission. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's literally all he said.
Now, how does that engender confidence in anybody that these so-called principles, to use the language of business school, that these quote-unquote principles in his quote-unquote portfolio will be safe, let alone the country? These are the people that, now again, this is what I was talking about, Sean. Just for political payback, these are the people he put in control. You reap what you sow.
Hey Ben, pardon me. I have a read as far as I did some research on the layout of the security that I think will add to this conversation. Can I do a brief read?
Let me just,
Okay, so
real quick, bro, let me just say something. Trump will be on 60 Minutes tonight, talking about the shooting. Good.
Okay, so just real quick, and I'll be brief. So here's the layout. So The venue was organized. Okay, so the layout was it was organized in several distinct zones to manage the high-profile attendance of President Trump and other administration officials. So you have the main ballroom, which contained over 250 circular tables, each seating about 10 guests. Okay, the head table where the First Lady is. This area featured hidden armored plates under the president's seat. And a dedicated buffer zone to separate him from other attendees. The ballroom is located one floor below the lobby, guys. That means when you come in, you got to go downstairs, and there's access by a staircase and escalators. This foyer served as the final security checkpoint where the where the metal detectors are stationed. And then you have an outer perimeter. Guests show their tickets to enter the grounds. Then you have an inner perimeter. Attendees pass through metal detectors before descending to the ballroom. And the hotel features a secured garage for the presidential motorcade. So they're saying that this guy, Cole Thomas Allen, he reached a checkpoint near the entrance at approximately 8:34 while officers were beginning to disable some metal detectors. So again, so you got to go downstairs. You got to snake your way through, per what I'm reading, the information that's going. So again, how did this guy get this close with these different layers? And the fact is, how was he planning on escaping? Was he going to run back up the step? It's just odd to me. And I wanted to get a layout of the facility. And hopefully later when I'm stationary, I can look at it visually. But that's the read that I have. I'll land.
That's the read I had. It's crazy. Oh, y'all crack me up. Oh, Lord, look at that.
Didn't he say that they had started shutting down some of the metal detectors?
Yes, that's correct. They started disassembling the metal detectors, yes. And it seems like he came in at that point and just wilded out, pulled out the gun, shot, whatever the case may be. Yeah.
What? At this point, I'm over it. Y'all can carry on with the conversations. I'll just tickle me.
I'm done. Y'all can do whatever you want. What else is there to say at this point?
I don't know. Stupid shit.
Yeah, at this point. Jamal, right on time. Go ahead.
John, I think it was. That's what I think. And I think. You gotta start over. You breaking up. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Can you hear me? I think it was an inside job, simple and plain. I think they're gonna end up killing his ass before it's all over. And it was an inside job. That's the fourth attempt, I think. They're gonna get him.
Well, no, the fourth attempt that we know. The other thing you have to keep in mind, they probably foil dozens, if not scores, of these a year before it even gets to this point. So this is just the one whereby, it reached the media, or we talk about, or we saw the person, but they arrest these people all the time. That score sounds like a lot. Maybe it's dozens a year, but it's a lot. There's a lot of threats on them. But yeah, that's what some people say. Tony Paul, hope you well.
Omar talking stuff in the chat again. Come on stage. Why are you scared? He calling people names. Exactly. What does that mean?
I don't even know what he's talking about.
This is banned in Hurricane's justification. I seen a lot of black law enforcement. Did you even say anything about black law enforcement?
I have no idea what he's talking. Justification.
Why he just be putting stuff on people?
I'll tell you what it is.
He's smoking that dope.
What a convoy is. When Mel said we have nothing, we have no idea how to have a conversation. And I responded with what a convoy is. That's what's happening here.
I have no idea what's going on.
Yo, my bad. I spell checked out me. I meant to say jurisdiction. That's what I meant to say, but the spell checked out me. Not justification. Yeah. No, I was saying that's your area. You on Hurricane. Did y'all
Prince George County, Baltimore guys, Maryland guys.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
do that again. You block from
I'm not from there. I'm not a local.
but Secret Service had to watch.
Yeah, but you see, like it was local. Yeah, I seen a lot of black local the videos. Yeah.
Well, Secret Service got to watch.
That's a fact.
That picture of the way they was running out of there. Did y'all see the picture of Mike Johnson?
No,
my PTI, it was giving shade to January 6th. Remember, we're also supposed to believe that January 6th was fake. See, the right wingers are allowed to have all their stuff as fake. But now the blue anoners can't have theirs. We live in a conspiracy theory world. Only thing we know now is the rent. That bitch is high as a motherfucker.
they said ain't nothing going on but the rent.
In this comment, I still don't understand why people are renting. Y'all got it. It is bizarre to me.
Grant Cardone told them not to buy homes. That's why.
That's right. Pay him rent instead.
I seen them yank JD Vance up. But sure on.
That was crazy.
Waving shit, man. Like, just like didn't know how to stand up.
Jimmy Benton said to himself, God damn.
Yeah, exactly.
He said, God damn. I'm safer in Pakistan with the Iranians than I am. Damn, that's crazy, yo. This country is a shithole. I don't care where you fall.
Shit is crazy.
On the political spectrum. I'm saying this country is Donald Trump called Nigeria and all you Africans a shithole. You got upset. I never got upset because this place is a shithole. I was in an airport. I was in a terminal in.
Hold on, baby. Partially because of the stigma associated with cancer. You know what's a prime example of that?
Then we found out.
Hold on. Brother.
Listen, if I can interject to say one thing. The one good thing about cancer, cancer does not